Hello, online crew. How is everybody today? Welcome to today's live where I'm talking about the all important conversation of personal branding. If you haven't got this sorted out yet, then you need to. And I want to share with you why personal branding is so much more important now than ever before. But what surrounds this conversation around personal branding, I think people get confused, and they get confused depending on where they're building their business, whether that's on personal profile on Facebook or Instagram or another platform or a business page or a group or all those kind of things. So let's have a chat about personal branding today. So, well, firstly, I guess if you're here listening live or even catching the replay, you can answer this as well. Do you think you've got your personal brand sorted out? Do you think that's something that you have under control in this whole big world of sort of social media, building your business online? Do you think you've got your personal brand nailed? I would love to hear from you where you sit with this whole conversation around personal branding. So let me know your thoughts around personal branding. If we haven't met before, my name is Helen Martin. I am your online crew captain. I am here to serve those who are entrepreneurs, social sellers, in direct marketing, MLM, and you would like to leverage modern social media strategies and build your business online, but do it in a way where you are a human before a marketer. That's my motto. That's what I stand for. That's what I live by. That's what I teach here. I'm in the industry with you, building a global team. So everything that I'm sharing with you, I'm either doing or researching or practicing or evaluating or, things that have worked well for me. One of the things that I have done is obviously built a brand and built a name around that brand. Like I call you my online crew. I've got my online crew coaching community. There is a difference just on that, by the way. Those of you that are members of my coaching community, I just did a training earlier regarding the three tiers of income producing activities and where you should be sitting and what you should be doing to be successful with building your business online, which is building your business in general. Really important training, quite a short training compared to my trainings. And I've got a document that I shared with you as well that you absolutely must print out, look at, evaluate yourself, give to your team, get them to evaluate, teach them the strategy as well. But really, really, really important training, coaching community members. So make sure you grab that. I just also wanted to share before I go into this, in relation to Clubhouse. If you listen to Clubhouse, which I highly recommend you do, it's only audio. Like when you're driving your car or doing the dishes or whatever you do, going about your day, you can put on an audio room in Clubhouse and just listen to it. It's just like listening to a podcast. But there's been a lot of changes in Clubhouse, and they're now called houses instead of rooms and clubs and whatever. As a result of all of that, we don't have a replay of this week's Clubhouse, which is a real shame because we talked about so many things and things that I use in the business and that help me with time blocking and getting organized and doing all the things that I do. We don't have a replay this week, I'm sorry. So unless you were live with us, you've missed it, which is a bit of a shame. So we're trying to sort that out for next week. So yeah, it's just all changed. So I'll share a little bit more about that tomorrow. There's changes to Instagram and Reels, which I'm going to share with you tomorrow. So make sure you join me live tomorrow for changes that are happening on social media platforms. Every now and again, I just like to do a bit of a summary of what's going on, what you should be aware of. So make sure you join me for that live tomorrow. But what I want to talk to you about today is obviously branding. Now, do you believe you have your personal branding sorted out? Yes or no? Because I don't think a lot of you do. And I do think it's different now to how branding was taught when I first learnt about branding. But this is so, so, so important. And I want you to think about something. Your current level of success, if you're building on social media. So we're concentrating on a brand on social media, obviously. But your current level of success is directly relatable to the brand that you have or haven't built on social media. Just absorb that for a second. your current level of success on social media, that is, in whatever platforms that you're on, is a direct correlation to the brand that you have or haven't set up for yourself. Since COVID, social media has got very, 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 very busy. Not just very busy, very, very, very busy. You know the drill. You've heard this, I'm sure you've heard this conversation before about personal branding and how important it is and the reason that it's important. You've got to stand out from the crowd. If you blend in with everyone else who's talking about the same stuff in your company, that you're talking about and everyone else is talking about your company, or you're talking about the company specifically, what you've got to understand with that is people that have already got the influence and people that have already got success and people have already got the large checks in network marketing and direct sales, social selling, whatever you want to call it, they can use the company name. They could even change a company and still have a level of success with that because they already have the following, they already have the influence, they already have the thousands of followers, they already have their kind of brand, which is actually them. It's them. People join them because their level of success. So what's important to you is to not necessarily copy that, even though that's what people teach. Because unless you've got a high level of success, unless you're a high rank, unless you're the top of the company and you're quite proud of the company that you're in, it's not going to help you. It's going to hinder you. Okay? So these days, I do believe that like the traditional attraction marketing way is to never, ever, ever mention the company name and, don't mention your products and where they're from, whatever. I believe we're a little bit more liberal than that these days, and you should dot it into your social media, the things that you share, the things that you use, the things that you sell, the opportunity that you're in. Use the company name occasionally, but take that word for what it is, occasionally, not all the time, okay? But in this day and age, in 2023, in social media, in breaking through all the people that are trying to build on social media, learning attraction marketing, all that kind of stuff, you have to stand out from the crowd by building your own brand. Your brand is you. You are what's different. You are what people want to, if they're going to buy a product of you or join you in your team, it's because they're attracted to you and what you do and what you say and what you're known for. You have to get known for something. So if I looked at your social media right now, any of your social media, personal profile, business page, group, what would I learn about you? Is it all about just kind of promoting some products or a business opportunity? What would I learn about you? What do you help people with? What's your brand? What do you help people with? That's how you get sales. That's how you get people joining your team, is when you get known for something, you become helpful to a lot of people. They like your vibe. You could even just be a fabulous entertainer. Brands are different these days. You could brand something totally different it is easier if you relate it. But if you're like super entertaining and then you recommend something and you grow, let's say you're a TikTok or you're a Reels person, something like that, and you share pretty cool stuff and valuable stuff on a particular topic, people get to know, like, and trust you. And then you recommend something and they're like, oh, where do I get that? Because you've created a brand, you've created a vibe, you've created something that people get to know, like, and trust you. You have to do your own thing. The more you do your own thing, as far as building a personal brand on social media, the more success you're actually going to have in your business. There's a front end and a back end. You're the front end. Your company's not the front end. Everybody's in the same company. That's the same front end. It doesn't make any difference if you say it or somebody else says it. You're still just promoting a product that does something. If you're putting product, information out there, or business opportunity information out there, and it's falling flat, like no one's grabbing, you're not getting any traction from it, you haven't built up enough of a brand for you, your personality, what you help with people with, what you bring to the table, all of that kind of stuff. We need to see you, the genuine, authentic, flaws and all, good, bad, ugly, but what you kind of stand for and what you help people with. What is that? And you've got to be super, super consistent at it. If you show up for a few weeks and you disappear for many more, you can't build a brand that way. You can build a brand around you. I'm here to tell you now, you can build a brand around you. Some of you will be building from a personal profile, personal Instagram, personal TikToks, things like that. Some of you will be building from business pages. Some of you will be building from groups. Some of you will be building on different platforms. This is where the conversation needs to go with personal branding. Where are you building? What are you doing there? How are people getting to know, like, and trust you? How are you standing out from the crowd? What does your content represent? How are you engaging people with your content? How consistent are you with your content? How are you drawing people to your content? How are you building influence? Do you know how to do all of that? If you don't, and you haven't got this sorted out yet, you need to invest in resources or training or something to get it sorted out, because you could be one of those people that's creating social media content week in, week out, week in, week out, and not getting any results from it because you don't have a brand behind it. What's the purpose of all of that if people aren't seeing what it is that you really help people with? This word value is so, so, so important. Don't show up and just sell your crap. Give value to people. Teach them things. Give them value, whether that's, and there's more options these days. You could be inspirational. You could just be really entertaining. But if you're really entertaining, like I've got friends of mine that are on social media that are super, super entertaining and they're not monetizing their influence at all. And it's like, are you mad? You've got people following your every move and you're not bringing up anything that you offer. So how personal branding works is that you promote you stand for something, you help people with something on the front end, and your business and your products and everything that you offer are on the back end. When people like you, they start to follow you, they know you're consistent, they know that you're helpful, the sales will follow. You want to earn more money in this industry, you become more valuable. How do you become more valuable? You work out what your personal brand is, you stand behind that, you be really consistent with your content around that, and you be genuinely, authentically you when you do it. When you sound like everybody else, you'll blend in like everybody else. There's something about you that nobody else has. If you don't know what that is, ask other people. So when you think about me, what do you think about? What do you think that I do, or what I help people with, or when you think of me, and some qualities that I've got, like what do you think of? What do you think I'm helpful for? Like what do you glean from my personality? Ask other people what they get from you. It's like, well, you're actually really good at XYZ. Or yeah, I find you to something or other. Like, what are you good at that is your strength that you can build into your personal brand? Okay, here's where branding sat for the last number of years. It's quite formal, especially those of you building on a business page. This is the way I learned. It was very structured. It was all on a business page. It wasn't on personal profiles or personal Instagram or, things like that. And it was very structured, and it still can be structured to a degree, and that still works. But people in this day and age need community. They perceive value a hell of a lot differently than what they used to. Nobody's really looking for a transaction anymore. They're looking for a lot of value with their transaction. If somebody's going to give you their money for a product or join you in your business opportunity, they're looking for a hell of a lot more than just what it is that you're selling. They're looking for the value behind it. How do you build that value? That's you. That's where you come in. So some of you that have even got existing brands that you're building out, you need to go to a much deeper layer with sharing more of you, sharing more entertaining stuff, more inspirational stuff, more of your journey, more of your flaws, more of your failures, more of all of those kind of things. Like a much more genuine, authentic brand. And have a look at the people that you follow. Why do you follow the people that you follow? They've got a brand. You know exactly why you're following them, don't you? The people that intrigue you, the people that you watch, they're either inspiring to you, they're entertaining to you, or they're valuable to you. They teach you good stuff. They share a lot of information that makes sense. Like there's a reason that you follow people. There's reasons that you've bought resources off somebody. It's because you know that they can help you. So how do you help other people? What do you stand for? All of this kind of stuff. It's just so important that you get this if you want to be successful on social media in 2023 and beyond. Make a statement, make a stand, all those kind of things. So if you need help with this, for the first time in 4 months, coming up almost 5 months, I am running my signature course, Build Your Brand. The label of it is Build Your Brand on Facebook, but things have evolved. Even the videos that I've got in there, like this round of the branding course is going to be very, very different. Well, same principles of branding, but I'm going to be talking about the different platforms, the different ways you need to show up on those different platforms, humanizing your brand even more than you might currently do. Like there's a lot we need to talk about to get your branding right. And you get to work with me for 4 weeks on your brand, what that looks like, what you're going to say, what your content look like, a content plan, how do you engage people, how do you draw people to your social media following, where should you be hanging out? Like, let's talk about all of that. Can you create a brand and put it across multiple platforms, or do you just not have the time for that? Like, where should you be, what you should be saying on what platform? Like, let's sort this out for once and for all. So if that's something that you need to sort out, if you go to helenmartinonline.com/branding, come and join me for the next 4 weeks. We start next week. If you are a coaching community member, I'll just pull up the link for that. If you are a coaching community member, you actually get a special discount, an automatic $50 discount. So just look in the coaching community Facebook group for your special discount code, or just message me and I'll give that to you. Okay. So if you go to helenmartinonline.com/branding, branding is my passion. Branding is my thing. It's what I know has worked for me in relation to being really consistent with my content, with my brand, what I've created. Like, how many of you know what online crew means when I mention that? Like, you're part of my online crew. The online crew coaching community, that's a different layer. Again, that's a whole community of people that want to go to a different layer of training and learn all the how-tos, those kind of things. Branding is the only the separate course that I do apart from my coaching community, because it's so intensive. We need to sort this stuff out. So come and join me next week and beyond in the coming weeks if this is something that you know you need to work on. Because what I'm really passionate about for my own life, and I'm sure you can relate to this, is there's 2 things I really dislike. And I know there's some of you that can rattle that off right now in the comments section because you know me well. But those 2 things is I do not like wasting time and I do not like wasting money. Social media is a very quick way for you to waste a lot of time creating content, attending trainings, trying to sort out this overwhelm of what social media brings, and you get exhausted. We're just talking about that in the coaching community earlier. You get exhausted about everything to do with social media, creating content, prospecting people, trying to find customers, building your team, whatever. You do a lot of thinking. You might even create a lot of content, but you're not getting any results. Why? Because you're not building a brand behind it. Everything is about building with value. And you become well known, well liked, well trusted. The trust is in your consistency. If you're not consistent on social media, trust is going to be hard to find. How many of you know that I've turned up live for the last probably 4 years regularly? How many of you know when I go live every week, like I go live here 3 days a week, I'm on Clubhouse every week, like I am as consistent as they come. It's my birthday today and I'm on live with you. I haven't taken the day off. I still did a training in the coaching community earlier today. I'm still meeting my commitments for my community and my audience on my birthday. Could I have taken the day off? Yeah. Am I taking the rest of the day off after this? Yeah. Like there's room for everything. But you can rely on me because this is the value that I've committed to for my audience and my coaching community. And I show up and I'm consistent and I'm building a brand accordingly. Does that help me build my business and get customers and whatever? Absolutely it does. I attract people to me through my consistency. How are you building know, like, and trust? What value are you sharing on social media? What are you teaching people? What are people learning from you? Or is it just all, the company name, the company products, like you're just blending in with everyone else? It's the same company name, it's the same company products. Like learn to build a brand. Flaws and all. Good stuff and bad. Okay? So just want to check on some of your comments here. So if you go to helenmartinonline.com/branding, have a look at what's involved in that. It does focus around the business pages because that's my signature course. But this day and age, we need to talk, and we will be talking about personal profiles, Instagram, groups, whatever, however and wherever you want to brand. I will work with you around that. It's not just around Facebook business pages. Christine, good morning, Helen. Personal branding, starting to think, but a long way to go, I'm sure. So keep thinking about it. It's not just about turning up on social media and talking. It's not about, being really formal about what you teach. If you talk at people and not with people and have a conversation with them, like there's ways to do branding really well, and there's ways to do branding where you're just wasting your time. So you don't want to waste your time. You want to build up that know, like, and trust really quickly. You want to build a lot of value, but it has to be around something. You've got to get known for something. So what's your something? Like we need to explore that, but with authenticity and being as genuine as you can and all those things that come with it. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate the happy birthday. Much appreciated. Yes, branding is important, I believe, as we grow. It can evolve, absolutely. What you set now may not be your brand that you end up with. It does evolve as you evolve. So thankful that I took the branding course to work it out, though, through my growth as an entrepreneur. Absolutely. I think Beth's branded 3 times now in recent years. I'm so happy I took the branding course. It has helped so much with the content to post every day. And this is the thing about branding. When you work it out and you know what you stand for, you're not going to go through that vicious cycle of I've got no idea what to post, which is probably where a lot of you sit. You don't post, or you don't post often enough, or you're not consistent enough because you don't really know what you should be posting. But when you establish your brand, your content creation becomes so much easier. And further to that, now that we've got resources like ChatGPT, there's just an endless abundance of content creation when you know what it is that you stand for, what you help people with, all those kind of things. I was surprised when a girl brought her friend over to meet me as she was renting my suite. And she said, Merla is the go-to girl for everything natural, health, food on social media. I was honored she knew that. She follows me, obviously, because I don't know her well. Amazing. Well done, Merla. You're establishing a solid brand when people tell you what they recognize you for. This is why I say to you, if you don't know, go and ask people that kind of know you, what do you see me as? Like, what do you think I'm helpful to people for? What do you think of when you think of me? Just simple questions like that. So that's a really good example. Thanks for sharing, Merla. I have different brands and different platforms. So do I now. I brand myself differently on TikTok than I do on Facebook. So that's going to be really valuable for you to teach that. Yep. Time and money. You got it right. Cherie knows me well. Thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. Thank you for the happy birthdays, guys. I appreciate that. So I'm going to leave that with you. It's just food for thought. This is the best investment that you can make in your business if you're building on social media, is to sort out your personal branding. I see so many people waste weeks and months and even years, fat-assing around on social media, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They don't have a tight brand. They've got content that's all over the place, or you're not monetizing, the audience that you have. You're just wasting time. So some of you might even need to rebrand. Have a think about that. If you sort of established your branding message a few years ago, is it time to have a look at that? Where should you concentrate your efforts more? Where are you going to get more bang for buck? I still believe in business pages. A lot of other leaders will tell you, don't worry about business pages because they're too hard. It's pay to play and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. I mainly show up on my business page. I've got other things as well, but it's a conversation you need to have when you're doing branding, is where are you going to show up? Okay. And how are you going to show up? So the door is open. It's over to you whether you need that or not, but I'm more than happy to help anybody who needs that help over the next 4 weeks, but we do start next week. So if you need that, that might be something worth looking into. Now, tomorrow I'm going to give you a few updates. We've got Instagram updates, Reels updates, Clubhouse updates. So make sure you tune in with me tomorrow at the same time. I am going to enjoy the rest of the day for my birthday. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.